So that's going to be right now Shadowfaxx putting the first one on the board, aka ThreeEyedOdin. And we're gonna be heading into game number 4 and see if there's gonna be some proper and complete comeback or something along those lines on our hands. So the next game that's going to be played on Lumber Camp. You can see it's gonna be a bit of a weird map. Many lumberjacks have spent time in these woods. The river in the middle has some fish. There's gonna be Zeus versus Loki this time around, as Mito is gonna be playing it a bit more standardly, and we are looking forward to potentially seeing another Athena rush here. Let's see if that's gonna be possible, and something that ThreeEyedOdin is gonna be choosing to do, and how hard it's gonna be for him. What culture have you seen more often online? And great responding to Fernando. Toxic culture. Yeah, he's not wrong. Definitely isn't wrong in that. Well, so far we're having quite nice games here and quite nice tournament going on. But otherwise, for Age of Mythology, what kind of culture is used the most? It really depends on levels of players. Basically all the civilizations are used fairly equally, I have to say. In tournaments, it can be seeming a bit different. Egyptians are usually favorites. You often see Zeus, you often see Oranos. But you also see plenty of Norse lately, especially on the balance patch. So I'm thinking that basically all are represented rather equally. I don't think there's any kind of like huge discrepancy. And most players are actually gonna be playing what they enjoy instead of what they kind of like feel they have to. Even in tournaments. So there's also that to this part of the discussion. I'm glad that it's not too hard to understand Offspringer, the accent and the speech and everything. I try to be paying attention to properly pronounce and like articulate, but sometimes it's harder for me, especially when I'm a bit more tired, and it's getting way more harder. So I understand that some streams can be not all that much fun, I imagine. But then again, I hope that at least the games that we are having here on the platform are going to be enjoyable enough. Nonetheless, so this is the Lumber Camp. This is the map, how it looks. You can see it's gonna be having a few fishies in the middle. Yeah, gonna be plenty of villages getting in the wood here, which could be potentially dangerous because you can see this is nearby the water. So therefore, the boats definitely could be a bit annoying here. He's having plenty of hunt available, not only there, but also on the right flank with a relic for better anti-cavalry damage. With Odin's spear called Grugnir. And Pantisi on the left side with a few 3 stumps. So let's switch into I am Mito's point of view as the Loki on the water. On a map like this, I'm not entirely certain what's actually gonna happen here, because it's fairly like short, the water, and thin, not exactly all that much wide. So I'm having a feeling this is gonna be quite an interesting map as far as Egyptians, because it feels fairly similar to Anatolia, where Egyptians are obviously powerful because of the fact that you have basically the water quite thin, and therefore the dogs are gonna be able to shoot on most of the water. This is fairly similar. So I think this is something that could be thought about by the players. Maybe we'll see later with another round when somebody's gonna be playing it as well. There's otherwise plenty of hunt available to start with. And yeah, just on the water you do have actually 6 fish here. This is not entirely high number. So you need to be considering that this is not entirely all that 100% ideal for water build order. So you need to be kind of like playing around a bit. The hunt definitely should be helping because it's faster, for example, than the piggies, as apparently Mito is going to be coming cheeky into opponent. As on Mediterranean you are having, for example, piggies mostly. And while you do have some hunt here and there, you usually have to invest into something like granary, for example, if you are playing the Norse or the Greek. And therefore you often don't have the fastest source or the source of the food. So here I'm thinking that the extra hunt might be making up for the fact that you don't have as many fishing boats. Who knows? Haven't exactly played the map. The players are playing it now. That's probably one of the first ones. As he's having right now the Greek 6. The opponent seems to be similar. A bit high, or rather lower at 5. As he's dropping a temple on the other side, he's gonna be getting also a few houses. And this is actually a fairly important tactical spot because of the extra hunt. There is another one obviously for ThreeEyedOdin on the other side of the map that Mito has completely no idea about what's going on there. As he didn't have time to scout there yet, but well, his opponent, he exactly knows where to go potentially there, and it seems to me that he might be even more tempted to go that way, because he does have the hunters on the left, so therefore he's gonna be moving as soon as possible. exactly into that position. Also because there's the TC. He doesn't know about the other one. That's gonna be somewhere here, based on what he has scouted. Yep, he's there. But if he goes somewhere on the right flank, as Athena is coming, then he might be actually discovering that he has a bit of a surprise waiting for him. It's actually kind of interesting to see why he's choosing the Athena. I mean, like, what's gonna be the reason? If it's gonna be for the water, or if it's gonna be for the land. So far it seems it's gonna be basically for kind of maybe both, but more for the land, I feel. So far he doesn't know about the build order, or the build up next to him. He so far has no idea. He's just gonna be looking at the water where apparently nothing is much going on. So one military academy with Jason nearby. Heimdall is coming forward from Mito. So at this point, this is just basically that giveaway. This is gonna be land rush. So ThreeEyedOdin is choosing correctly to go for the land order and land builds. So getting a few more mythical, or the mythical normal units, not mythical. And Ainear is already gonna be reaching him. So therefore at this point, ThreeEyedOdin is also gonna be knowing that there is a side build. Because just this slow unit cannot get there in time at all. So therefore, right now, he needs to be 100% knowing what's going on. So therefore, he probably could be also trying to scout around his base, just to make sure he knows what's going on exactly. In case there are like 2 temples, or if it's temple and a longhouse again. But considering what Mito played in the first 2 games, it's quite probably it's gonna be pretty much the same. As players usually do like some kind of strategy in the current meta that they're gonna be employing. So here, well, so far, seems like it's gonna be only 2 heroes with not that much of an army to begin with. And it's gonna be right now Archer Range, the next one, which is obviously quite a bit of a difference from the match we have seen before, with TrueLock, who was basically going for quite a lot more hoplites, and on top of that, Typhicons. As unfortunately, this wasn't cast well. He could have cast it in a way that you have also, for example, taken the sentry tower. If he cast it about like there, he would have taken even the sentry tower. That would be insta-destroyed. Oh, it didn't kill it. That was just really unlucky, because the tower should be falling instantly. Same as walls. Damn, that was just exactly like half a second too late to be at least taking it down. But it doesn't seem it's gonna be mattering too much, as the battle is going exactly for Mito, which is obviously understandable, with another Ainear coming forward into the battle. As ThreeEyedOdin, he does have enough resources, so he definitely can be affording a few more units building. Not going for the towers yet. He probably could be. Because since the Undermine is already gone, then the towers are gonna be having much more lasting power and standing power. So he probably should be investing into that, maybe even instead of the Archer Range, who knows. But nonetheless, the second Archer Range is definitely gonna be doing his job as well. Now, so far he's working rather well, but he needs to be taking care of Odysseus. Where is he exactly? Is he dead? Oh yeah, he was dead. But he's dead still, because he doesn't have houses at this point. Okay, that's kinda bad. Let's see if ThreeEyedOdin is gonna be noticing quickly enough. Because at this point, fighting this with only Jason, who is unfortunately, just now he is, looking after Ainear. It's not looking all that great at this point for Mito, because he's getting into territory that he shouldn't be. Because the villages are gonna be way too much of a help into the army. As Ainear is gonna be surrounded and therefore also killed with a few steps into the back and into the kidneys. And then the army is of course getting stronger and stronger. It seems like the threat is slightly struggling, producing enough throwing axemen, especially since he's gonna be facing way too many archers from 2 archer ranges and only 1 military academy. So he's switching way too heavily into the throwing axemen. He should be making like only from 1. The second one should be making, I don't know, probably still the Herseers, just to keep getting some mythical units against what he's facing. Because obviously either he needs a few horses or the Herseers for the mythical units. I'm thinking, looking how he's Loki, probably could be getting something more there. But yet again, look at that Radiant Minotaur. That seems to be a bit of a theme for ThreeEyedOdin, and it seems to be working really well. But right now Mito is gonna be punishing for that. But at least he did disrupt a bit of gold mine in there, so it was definitely worthwhile. And on the water, you can see there wasn't much of a fight to be had. You know, the dwarf he dead because of Radiant with the hoplite. And Mito just didn't fight for it at all. He just didn't care about it at all in that point, or at that point, and was hoping that on the land he's gonna be surprising ThreeEyedOdin way too much, or way too much, a whole lot more, but that did not apparently exactly happen. And right now, yeah, this is going really badly, as the Toxotai are getting up in high numbers, and therefore there's not much of a chance that anything going forward from this is gonna be able to really change the course of action, because the hoplites will be able to take down the buildings in the meantime, and anything that comes out is just gonna be executed by the archers. So interesting play, of course, on this map, both pretty much ignoring the water. ThreeEyedOdin just made a few boats in there, which is something that Mito could have done as well, potentially. And would have been probably making for a bit harder game for ThreeEyedOdin. Because at this point, Blue got plenty of extra food for free. Whereas Mito didn't have that food, and he needed that food for all the Hersirs and... yeah, for all the Hersirs. Pretty much. So just well played by ThreeEyedOdin, seemed to be better prepared for how to do this map, but I'm thinking that both had kind of like correct idea. Just use the water at the very beginning for parallel economy, and then go hardcore onto the land. I think that's correct idea. That's how it could be working here. I'm just kind of slightly questioning how it's gonna be looking with Eggies on this map, because they should be incredibly hard to get rid of on the water. Yeah, not that many fishing spots, but still, when you have them, and your opponent, for example, doesn't, could be making for a bit of an interesting dynamics. And you can see the goals don't spawn all that far away. So it might be potentially manageable for the game. Who knows? Nonetheless, this game is going for ThreeEyedOdin, and we're gonna be tied, and therefore waiting for the decider between those two players for who advances into the next stage rather. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna be looking into the post game. That's gonna be only Mythology better for Mito because of getting in favor from fights. Otherwise, the Echo by 1100 there, 1200, yeah, about like 500 more resources for ThreeEyedOdin. Not a huge difference, but important enough. You can see military count exactly the same, and even there were two boats from ThreeEyedOdin. So basically, Mito was having more normal units, and still you can see the ratio here. Yet again, wasn't having them at the correct time and the correct place, but there are also gonna be a few more fishing boats in there. So like 25 maybe normal units, 25 slightly plus, but still almost like a double. And 413 advance obviously as opposed to 442. It was a whole lot better build order for ThreeEyedOdin, it almost seems to me as well. That Mito, if he had better build order for faster advance, it also would have been playing out a whole lot differently. You can see also not many researches at this point. Now I'm thinking, Mito, that you needed to be advancing a bit faster, that's first. And second, basically did, or rather do on the water what ThreeEyedOdin did. Just get a few more boats up so that you don't lose the water all that easily. And either force the opponent to commit or kind of like both having the fishies there. Because that would have been really boosting your echo and allowing you to spam the Hersirs a bit easier. Just basically any kind of army. Or at the same time, you also could have played a bit more defensively. Like basically build inside your base. That would be making it a bit harder for the opponent to basically overrule you and rush you. Because once you are gonna be having the military buildings right next to the base of the Greek, then the Greek is gonna be having a bit easier chance of overpowering you because of his units just being stronger. So maybe a bit more cautious approach was basically just what was needed in this game. Who knows? Interesting to see this map for the first time, at least for me. Probably gonna be providing some interesting games as players are gonna be trying to figure out what to exactly do on this map. And therefore, GG.